is your Classic Metal Show right here on theclassicmetalshow.com. That's Badlands live stuff there. Love don't mean a thing without you, girl. Yeah! Late, great Ray Gillen. Not so great as far as taking care of chicks, but certainly a great singer. And, yeah, Badlands, one of my favorites, as you guys are well aware. It's some live stuff that we almost never get to pull out and play. But we played it here tonight for you fine fucks that are still listening. So, in case you haven't figured it out yet, Neeley and I, not here. We are somewhere else. But that doesn't mean that you don't get the best of the Classic Metal Show. And we've gone old school tonight. We're going to keep it old school. One of the things that we used to do in 06, 07, 08, and 09, right up until I was exiled by my ex-wife from the show, right up until I quit the show, was we always were after these podcasts. You know, first it was Talking Metal, then it was Dirt Talk, then it was other ones that we found here and there. And we covered so many of them that the names actually started to repeat. So we found this one on the mighty Blog Talk Radio. It was called the Thrash Can. And this just happened to not be the first time we had come across a thrash can, though this was a totally different thrash can. It's a ridiculous segment. This guy, whatever this guy was doing, he had no business doing a show. He didn't even seem to want to do a show. So for the life of us, we couldn't figure out why he was doing it and what he was doing. And but it's quite the adventure. So strap in, folks. You're going to listen to The Thrash Can, Part 2, right here on the best of the Classic Metal Show.
Blog Talk Radio. Pew pew.
That's awful.
Hey, you're listening to Metal United? It's me, the Metal Dan or Metal Steve or whatever my dumb name was. How's everybody doing? I'm going to dig deep into the vaults tonight. Here's Judas Priest with Nostradamus.
All right, I'm hanging up now.
How's my quality? Pretty good tonight?
Yeah, I'm hanging up. No blog talk for you, pal.
Damn it.
Now, I couldn't sit there and listen to an hour, even 2 hours of blog talk radio if I had to listen to a guy talking over the telephone.
Why not? That's the quality. I don't like the way we're doing it now. I think you should call me from your phone on the Skype, and then I could call you back on my phone, and we could.
Nice. Okay, so you found a new podcast over there, which has the name of a podcast that we previously did, but it has nothing to do with that podcast.
That is correct. I mean, they stole a legend's name. They definitely did. But they're putting their own slant on it. And to be honest, I think that this guy might even be more legendary than the original holders of this name. And that's a pretty big compliment from me, especially about this podcast name.
Okay, so why don't you let everybody know who the longtime listeners of the CMS, you'll recognize this name.
Okay.
But it has nothing to do with the original one that we brought to you last year.
That's right. The name of this show is The Thrash Can.
Wow, there's an original name.
The Thrash Can is back. It's such a popular name that another guy had to steal it.
So this guy does his radio show. He calls it the Thrash Can.
Yes.
But he's not from New Jersey or New York.
That's correct.
So it's not the Thrash Can guys, Tito and Big Metal Mike.
Right.
So what can you tell us about the Thrash Can that we're getting into here?
Well, this Thrash Can, unlike the last Thrash Can, this features a newcomer to the podcasting world. This would be Dan the Destroyer as the host.
Wow. He's got a real metal name.
He does have a metal name, and when you guys hear Dan, he is a destroyer.
Okay. Before we get into this, for some of you who may not be familiar with Blog Talk Radio, just a real quick down and dirty here.
Okay.
Evidently, Blog Talk Radio is something that you can kind of tune in at random. It's now, I know you kind of ferreted it out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a service that you call in, and you use your telephone as your microphone.
Yeah, what you do is you call in. They provide you a phone number, and you call in on your phone number, and that's what gets broadcast out. And then they also give you a phone bank so that other people can call you as well, and you can take calls.
Okay. Now, if you play music, you upload the music to their server?
Yes, you have to upload the music to their server first, ahead of time. So you have to prep your show.
Okay, so they basically put your music in a server bank, and you see it on your computer screen.
Correct.
And then it's sort of like is in some kind of a player, I guess.
Yeah.
And then when you want to play your tunes, you just basically pick your song and play it.
Right. You just click and go.
Okay. So what happens to all the music that you upload to their server? Do they get to keep it?
I don't know that. I haven't gotten that far.
Wouldn't that be quite a scam to have a service like Blog Talk Radio and people upload all their music to it, and then you just keep it?
Well, my bigger picture is who's paying the royalties off of playing these songs?
That's another good question.
You know,
how do they? I guess since the music is uploaded to their server, that they can track it somehow.
Yeah, but if Blog Talk Radio's free.
Yeah, that's interesting, huh?
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Well, I'm sure we'll see that they got shut down at some point because of it.
Yeah, and then people will be calling. You know what? They shut down Blog Talk Radio because you guys
guys didn't click the links.
You made a fuss about it and brought it to somebody's attention, and then they shut us down.
Yeah, it's all the Classic Metal Show's fault.
All right, so let's get into the Thrash Can.
All right, this is the new one with Dan the Destroyer. And he is something.
And see what Dan brings to the table.
All right.
All right, guys, that was Torture Killer with the first track off their album, For Maggots to Devour. And this is Dan the Destroyer.
Hold on.
Is that our good friend Stoner Al?
It could be Al, but I think they stole an idea from us with the recording of this. Do you hear it?
Yeah. Yeah, listen real close. You hear the crickets or the peeper frogs. I'm not sure if they're crickets or they're frogs.
Right.
In the background.
All right.
All right, guys, that was Torture Killer with the first track off their album, For Maggots to Devour. And this is Dan the Destroyer, and of course I'm drunk again for the third episode of Thrash Can. And those of you that are listening, I'm just going to inform everybody I'm going to change the name of the show. It's going, instead of Thrash Can, it's play on words, like trash can, but thrash, But this time I'm going to change it to something a little more intellectual, I guess.
Okay, so this drunk stoner guy is willing to change the name of the show from the Thrash Can to something more intellectual.
Yes, because that's just the cool guy that he is, I guess.
Wow. How can you get more intellectual than the Thrash Can?
Well, Thrash Can was pretty cerebral, if you ask me.
Okay.
Thrash Can, it's cool because it's a play on words and all that and blah, 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 but really, in all honesty, it's kind of lame. And I can admit it, and I came up with it myself.
Oh, I beg to differ there, Destroyer.
Yeah, because we have another Thrash Can.
I think Tito and Big Metal Mike came up with it.
Yes, I think so.
But I'm going to change it to something a little more intellectual, starting next show, whenever it will be. It will be known as Thrash Talk. I know, just as lame. I don't
Thrash Punk?
Thrash Punk or Thrash Talk or something.
I think he said Thrash Punk.
I don't know. It's awful.
Well, see, now here's the other thing about Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah.
How do you even develop an audience when you don't do a show at the same time all the time when you go, Well, the next show, whenever that'll be.
Well, you know.
How do you even know when to tune in?
Well, you got to tune in all the time, obviously, and hopefully you'll catch the time that I'm on.
Well, if he changed the name of the show, how would you know when to tune in and what you're looking for?
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that what we need to do, me and you, is do a show on Blog Talk Radio, but we're not going to tell anybody. We're just going to do it at some point. What do you think? You want to?
So basically on this Blog Talk Radio for people like the Destroyer here, Dan the Destroyer.
Yeah.
If he has any listeners at all.
Yeah.
They're basically just drive-by listeners.
Of course.
They just happen to stumble across him at that time.
Of course.
Okay.
That's the way you build an audience.
Sure.
You got to make the show so compelling that people will listen day and night to hear it again.
Okay.
I'm just coming up with ideas along the way. Drunk as usual, I'm in my backyard because, there's people in my house as of now, and to tell you the truth, I feel kind of embarrassed hosting this fucking bullshit show.
All right. Now, here's another point.
Yeah.
When I set out to do the Classic Metal Show 13 years ago,
yeah,
I had an idea or a concept in mind about doing the Classic Metal Show and why I wanted to do it.
Okay.
Obviously, the show has morphed from what I started out with to what it is today.
Okay.
But you and I faithfully do this show pretty much every week of the year. We give you about 48 live shows.
Right. And you get 52 new shows.
Yeah, you get 52 shows total, and they're all new, but we do
We never ever do a repeat.
Right. But we give you about somewhere between 47 and 48 live shows in a calendar year.
Right.
Well, these people like Dan the Destroyer and the guy from Metal United and, they get on there and they act like what they're doing is a chore.
Yeah, like they're being forced.
So my question is to people like that is, why are you doing a show if to you it's just a bullshit show, or geez, I can't wait till that hour clock winds down and the show is over? I mean, if you're going to do a show, don't you have something in mind? Hey, man, I got this idea. I got to get it out there. This is my show, and this is what I want to come across and do, instead of looking at your watch and go, well, if we only got 10 more minutes. Oh, goodness, we only got 5 more minutes. Oh, 2 more minutes. It's just like or I'm doing this bullshit show.
Right. I mean, admittedly, sometimes there are times when you're looking for the finish line. I mean, that happens.
Yeah, but we do a 6-hour show.
Yeah, but I mean, even when I was doing the metal show, which was 2 hours, there was a time here and there where you're just looking for the finish line. You're not feeling good, whatever. But my God, if you're in your first 5 shows and you're 10 minutes in and you're already starting to say, oh, yeah, 28 more minutes. That's just not. Why bother? Just hang up the phone.
Yeah, why are you
You're not even doing a real show? You're on the telephone.
Yeah, and probably nobody's listening.
Yeah, no one cares. Hang up. Tell me.
I'm embarrassed to do this bullshit show. I do it outside because there's people in my house, and I'm embarrassed to do it.
Well, listening to it, I'm embarrassed for you. Holy shit.
Kind of embarrassing, to tell you the truth, because I can't really explain it. And those of you that are calling right now, I don't know if any of you are, but I'm in my backyard and I'm not looking at the laptop right now. I'm just out in my backyard just chilling, holding a can of Milwaukee's Beast, and I'm just trying to run the show up as much as I can. So those of you that might be calling, stay on the line, because I'm not even sure if you are calling at this moment.
So he's outside away from his laptop.
Yeah.
He can't even see his screen, so he doesn't know if callers are lining up in droves to talk to this guy.
Yeah, no kidding. Oof.
Unbelievable.
So basically what we're saying here is, yeah, I'm doing a show, but I ain't got a fucking clue what's going on.
And I don't know why I'm even doing this show.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't like the name, and I have no idea what's happening
It's
on my show.
embarrassing to me to do this show. It's a bullshit show. I don't want people to even know I do it. And if there is anybody who's interested in what I have to say, I would never know it because I'm not in front of my computer and I can't tell if you're calling.
That's right. So listen next week or whenever the hell I do the next one.
Right. Wow.
Anyway, I'm going to talk about that band that was just playing. That was Torture Killer. And those of you that have never heard of that band, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be surprised because it's one of those bands that are instantly forgotten. And, I mean, it's a shame, really. I mean, it's the fact that the band couldn't have started off originally with that singer right there. Let's just talk about that lineup right there. That lineup was a group of guys that were a 6 Feet Under and Obituary cover band. And they just started off as like a little get-together and fuck-around band. And they, you know...
Get to it!
I've been drinking, you know how it goes. But they've been...
And that's another thing. Why are you even doing a show if you're drunk? Is that what the deal is? Is that, dude, you know what would be great? If we got drunk and did a show, man, because we're come off hysterical when we're drunk.
I guess. Oh, we've both done it. You know, I've done several shows drunk, but, you know, you gotta at least be coherent. I mean, you can't be sloppy drunk. This dude's obviously wasted.
Yeah. Nathan from Kentucky says he's just in his backyard hiding from his wife and kids and in-laws.
Covering these 6 Feet Under songs, and actually the name of the band is actually named after a 6 Feet Under song called Torture Killer, and that's off the album Maximum Violence. To tell you the truth, as far as 6 Feet Under goes...
And listen to the jet going over.
Yeah, that's great.
You can hear the jet flying over.
One of the only albums I even like. And 6 Feet Under, of course, is pioneered by the vocalist Chris Barnes, who was the original vocalist of Cannibal Corpse, which is probably the most famous death metal band out there. And
would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cannibal Corpse is the most famous death metal band there's ever been, sure.
Okay.
I'll give him that one, but a White's rambling about it.
Right.
Movie Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, where Jim Carrey was a fucking huge fan of Cannibal Corpse, and he asked him to be in the band, and at that time Chris Barnes was singing for him. But after Cannibal Corpse, he joined, of course, 6 Feet Under. And 6 Feet Under, I mean, love him or hate him, it's 6 Feet Under. You know, tell you the truth, as far as my opinion.
Love them or hate them, they're 6 feet under. Holy shit, what a statement.
Wow, easy with your opinions there, buddy.
Yeah,
You're really taking a giant leap out there.
Right.
Opinion goes. 6 Feet Under isn't that great in my opinion. I mean, as far as I can say, I mean, a lot of people like him because it's Chris Barnes, and he's like the fucking legendary death metal fucking vocalist. But, I mean, the band ain't that fucking great. And then you got the bass player, who is Terry Butler, who's one of the original bassists of Death, the fucking pioneering death metal band. And, I mean, to tell you the truth, I mean, I don't know. Everybody has this thing with 6 Feet Under. For some reason, I can name a million better fucking bands. But Torture Killer, they were a tribute band to 6 Feet Under.
All right, we got it.
That was...
To tell you the truth, I don't know.
Yeah, I picked up on that, too.
To tell you the truth, I don't know.
Tell you the truth, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Man, I was just playing, but I just dropped my fucking beer outside, and I'm pissed now. But anyway,
Do you suppose he's like Moon Mash and he's just like pacing back and forth and talking on his cell phone?
Probably is.
Walking with a beer in one hand, got a cigarette lit in his other hand, and has got his cell phone up to his ear.
Right. Hold it with his neck bent.
Right.
I had to take a drink of beer. But anyway, Torture Killer was a band. It was a cover band of Obituary and 6 Feet Under, and they, of course, named the name of their band after the song Torture Killer. Basically.
All right, we got it.
We heard it the first 3 times you said it, stupid.
All right.
Feet Under. And they, named their band after it. And recorded their first album for Maggots to Devour. And that was their first song off that album. And that,
let me guess. They named their band after it?
It was their band named after... I'm missing the point here. Was their band named after a 6 Feet Under song?
I think it was named after Torture Killer.
Oh, right. Which was what?
I think that was a 6 Feet Under song, but they were a tribute band to 6 Feet Under.
They were a tribute band. I didn't pick that up the first 9 times
and then
you said
they named their song. They named their band after a song, Torture Killer.
Jesus God, get to the point.
They're from Finland. I can't pronounce this dude's name right now, and I have to look at it right now. But it's all the way in my house, and I'm out in my backyard. But this dude, the first dude, recorded the album with him. Sometime in the middle of a tour, he left, and then he somehow, in the middle of it, found another singer that did a song, which I might play for you tonight. I don't even know if it's uploaded onto the switchboard, but if it's...
Well, isn't he the one who prepared his show?
I would think.
Okay. I don't even know if it's uploaded.
Yeah, I don't know what I did.
It's on there, I'll play it, but if not, whatever. But then after this dude...
If it's not, I won't. If it's up there, I'll play it. If it's not uploaded, I won't play it.
Whatever.
Okay.
Came Chris Barnes of 6 Feet Under and Cannibal Corpse. And he met them, and to tell you the truth, I think this band is only even known by me or anybody because of Chris Barnes. He joined the band, and that was literally it for the band. And until earlier this year of 2008, Chris Barnes left the band, and they went with the second singer, if I remember right. And, of course, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, and I'm going to get ready to go back inside to find more information.
He's going to get ready to go back inside.
That's good.
I wonder what he has to do to get ready to do that.
Am I missing it, or is he saying that Chris Barnes was in Torture Killer?
No, I think he's saying he was in Cannibal Corpse, and then he was in, 6 Feet Under or whatever?
6 Feet Under,
and then he left that. I don't know. It's hard to follow what this guy is saying.
What this bonehead's saying.
And probably to play another song. And, of course, those of you that are wondering, yes, this episode of Thrash Can, or whatever you want to call it, this is
whatever you want to call it.
That's good.
Yeah, it's this episode of Thrash Can, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know really how to say it. I'm too drunk to even think of the right word, but those of you that think I'm some poser, a lot of people thought my last episode was me being a fucking follower or some shit, and
a follower?
I love metal, and I'm going to play all these bands that you will never see a main article on Revolver. You will never see them on the front page of Metal Hammer or Circus or any of that bullshit, because for some reason, I don't even know, but these are underrated bands. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm fucking drunk, and this...
Did you ever notice? Did you ever notice that people who are drunk, they always got to remind you that they're drunk?
Well, I always notice that people that are not as drunk as they want you to think say that they're drunk.
Yeah,
I don't think this guy's drunk. I think he's just a stumbling idiot and he's trying to mask.
I'm just drunk right now. I'm really drunk.
Drunk? Yeah, I think he's masking that he's stupid.
Okay.
This show right now isn't even me trying to prove any kind of point to anybody. This fucking show is me trying to have some fun, I guess.
You don't sound like you're having a lot of fun, dude.
Are you not sure that you're trying to have fun?
You sound like you're making a chore out of it.
He said, "This is me trying to have fun, I guess." Well, is there really a guess needed? Are you trying to have fun or not?
Look at Pippins in the chat room. I'm so drunk, guys. That's why I'm stupid. That's almost what you said.
Trying to state my opinion on any kind of matter out there. And this show is just for me, I guess. I don't know. I've been drinking a lot. Ever since 5 o'clock today, which, September 12th, day after 9/11. Whatever you guys want to think about 9/11. As an American, I can say that, you know what, I'm not even going to talk about 9/11 because it's a fucking political thing, and I try to keep politics and music separate.
Why is that a political thing?
I don't know.
Okay.
And it's the day after 9/11, 8 years later or whatever, 7 years later.
Well, if you believe what he said, he's been drinking for 8 years.
Since 9/11.
Yeah.
Church and state, all that BS. Same thing with metal and music and state or whatever. But I have been drinking, and there's a lot of things I'm just saying off the top of my fucking ass, and I'm fucking drunk. Again, those of you that are on the switchboard waiting for me to call them, I'm sorry. I haven't got to the switchboard yet. I'm out in my backyard just fucking filling up time, being a drunk ass. But
okay, how many times has he mentioned he's drunk?
Well, he's got to fill up time somehow.
Well, yeah, again, there's my point. I have to fill up the time.
Right.
So why don't you guys just limit your shows to 10 minutes?
Yeah, or 5 minutes.
If an hour or 2 hours or whatever the length of your shows are is just too much for you, 10-minute show. 10 minutes and out.
How about this? Upload a couple more songs. Just play some more songs.
Anyway, with Torture Killer, there will be another song on today's episode. I'm going to be telling you, or I'm going to be showing you a song with Chris Barnes on vocals, and he recorded an entire album with Torture Killer called Swarm! Exclamation points afterwards.
So I guess this guy did join Torture Killer, the tribute band.
I guess Chris Barnes was in. I'm looking it up on Wikipedia, and he was the singer at some point.
So this guy, the way that he's mentioned Chris Barnes at least 30 times already,
yeah,
I take it he's pretty much a Chris Barnes groupie.
Or a death metal death head or something.
Right.
And which is awesome. It's awesome. And in my opinion, I think Chris Barnes should quit 6 Feet Under and start Torture Killer and just tour with them. But actually, he left the band, and now they're going with the second singer, who is if I remember right, is the current singer of Torture Killer. And 6 Feet Under is continuing with Chris Barnes.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
This reminds me of that guy that was on Saturday Night Live. I'm trying to remember one of the older episodes, but his favorite person was Pat Sajak.
Oh yeah.
The guy with the little hair ridge in front of his head there.
Yeah, what was that guy's name?
Pat Sajak.
Yeah.
This guy is the same way with Chris Barnes. Chris Barnes did this, and Chris Barnes was in that, and I think Chris Barnes ought to do this, and
it's all about the Chris Barnes.
And and I'm going to get ready to go back in my house. And again, I'm going to point out that I'm fucking drinking, and I'm a horrible fucking DJ, and I'm getting...
Did you have any idea that this guy was drinking?
I didn't know that, and I'm stunned to hear that he's a horrible DJ.
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking he's doing a pretty damn good job.
I say he's entertaining the shit out of me.
Right.
To find out if anybody called tonight, and I hope you guys did, because I want you guys to either tell me I'm a huge fucking poser, or I'm okay, or just let anybody who wants to call in, I don't care where you are, where you're from, who you are, just call in. I love talking about metal.
Why would we call in? You already said you're outside and not near the thing to take calls.
Well, he's going inside now, so you need to go in and call now.
Oh, well, let me get my phone.
Is something I can do for free, and it's fun, and I get drunk and talk about metal. I fucking love it. So any of you out there that are wanting to call, whether you want to call in to harass me, to whatever, to talk to me about metal, to say I'm a fucking fag or whatever, just call in and fucking say what you want, man. This show is your opinion and my opinion and whatever.
So call in and say I'm a fucking fag. Man, you're a fag. You're gay for Chris Barnes, man. You must have said the guy's name a bunch of times.
One of these weeks, I'm going to find one of these shows that's on live, and you know I'm going to call and just be a total douche.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Call and tell him that he's drunk.
All right.
That would be a worthy phone call.
Yeah, he probably doesn't know it.
Really?
Yeah, and call and ask him who 6 feet under is, because you might not have caught it the other 160,000 times that he said it.
Right.
Maybe we'll talk to him about Chris Barnes.
You know what I'm going to do, RH Metal?
What?
I'm going to record one of your shows, and then I'm going to make that a focal point.
Okay. We just finished our show at 11 o'clock.
Well, I'm gonna record one of your shows, and then you'll be the next guy on the chopping block.
Okay. Believe me, it's not as bad as this guy. We actually had stuff planned.
Who's we?
A friend of mine. He was my first caller on the show. It was just me, and
now it's just we.
He was the first guy who called in, and he became my co-host.
Really? Wow.
He's still a fucking dick.
I know.
Is that it?
No, I want to tell you, I don't think I've gotten a chance to tell you. I think I told Chris on Facebook. Thanks for the stuff, man. I got it in the mail like Wednesday.
Wow, it took like a week and a half to get to the hills of Arkansas.
Oh, and it's got to be delivered by
worth the wait.
horseback.
On the back of a mule.
It was worth the wait.
Yeah, you liking that CMS shirt?
Yeah, I wore it the very next day to school.
Yeah, sporting that around town. People saying, "Dude, where'd you get the shirt, dude?"
They were like, "Cool shirt. What's that?"
And then you said, what did you say to them?
I was like, a radio show, and they're like, "Which one?" I said, "The best one ever." And I said, "Oh."
Well, this is what I would have said, RH.
Fuck you, pal.
I need to have RH Metal Freak You Pal just monogrammed on the back of the shirt.
Yeah, now you and Tony from Kansas City can start making your own CMS shirts.
#1 callers.
Right.
This is my first call tonight,
2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6.
You need to call this guy and tell him that instead of him talking about 6 feet under, he's a drunk who has a show that's 6 feet under.
Right.
Wow, that was good.
And when I call him, I'm going to say,
"Fuck you, pal."
Easy.
He sounds like he's walking outside just trying to find Snake Man's house.
Well, he is.
Where did he park his house tonight?
Well, he's out there dictating is what he's doing.
His wife has better ratings than him, so he has to do his show outside.
I don't think this kid's married. I think he's just a kid just doing a show.
Oh.
Much like yourself.
He's a kid?
I think so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm going to guess he's probably like 18 to 22, somewhere around there.
18 to 22-year-olds have wives, so.
Yeah, sometimes. That's only if you live in Arkansas.
And then they're also your sister.
Yeah.
Okay, no. Okay.
You know, they get married.
Okay, I'm going to admit it. See, that might be true, but that's all around the world. But
No, just
my
Arkansas.
family doesn't do that. We don't do that.
Sure you do.
Arkansas.
Sure you do.
That's wrong. You're not supposed to do that. Read the Bible.
well, yeah.
Read your Bible.
We know you're not supposed to do it, but that doesn't mean people don't do it.
Torture killer with.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's like I want everybody to feel comfortable on this show, so I want to talk to you about Jesus.
Okay.
Rich, well, call us back and talk Jesus to us when you're fucking your sister.
Hey, I don't have a sister, and two, that's never going to happen. That's wrong. Read your Bible.
What's wrong with that?
It's just wrong, okay?
Why is that wrong?
It is supposed to be somebody who's not related to you. And
where does it say that?
Why am I talking to you guys about this?
What Bible passage says that? Because I don't remember reading the Bible passage about who you can bang.
Look, it says you're not supposed to be with your family, okay?
No, it doesn't. It says you're not supposed to lay down with your neighbor's wife. It doesn't say nothing about your mother.
Do you have a Bible in the studio with you?
Oh yeah, we have one right here on the console.
Look it up.
Look it up where? I'm asking you what chapter and verse.
Well, it's probably all over.
So in other words, you have no idea.
I know it's in there. I just don't know where.
Oh,
there you go. There.
I have read the Bible before.
It's in there. It's just like Prego. It's in there.
Did you read the Bible before? What is Luke chapter 2 verse 10?
Respect
Do I have to tell you?
Father.
Do I have to tell you?
I'm clueless here.
It says, and the angel said unto them, fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. And I'm the freaking devil, and I know that. So you, who's trying to throw the Bible at me, need to know who you're dealing with.
I'm just telling you, that's wrong, okay?
No, but you said it was biblically wrong. I'm saying it's not in the Bible.
Read the whole Bible on the air now.
I've read the whole Bible.
From page 1. From
page
God
1 doesn't say nothing about your mom.
What?
Page 1 says nothing about hooking up with your sister or your mom. None of them do. It says you can't hook up with your neighbor.
It's not on page 1. You've got to read the whole thing.
RH, I have a degree in biblical studies. I'm telling you for a fact it is not in there.
Look it up again.
Maybe you were reading the Quran?
Somewhere.
Well, you know, RH, they always say incest is best, and it's an activity the whole family can be involved with.
Right.
Yeah, it's a family sport.
Jesus Christ.
See? You're not supposed to even be saying that.
Right. And let's face it, Jesus wasn't even conceived in any kind of way. So who knows who the real mom was there?
No.
You're not
Look,
gonna.
No matter if you can find it in the Bible or not, my family does not do that. We do not believe in that.
Gosh darn it! I'm not taking this from you two, but I'm going to sit here and listen and laugh like the rest of you.
What other punch are you going to throw at me here? What's your next plan?
We're going to get back to the Thrash Can, RH.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next plan is listen to this tone.
Just like that.
Say what you want, man. This show is your opinion and my opinion and whatever. And again, I'm fucking drunk, dude. I can't can hardly even stand. I'm getting ready to go back inside. Hold on. Alright, here I am coming back inside of my house.
He does have people in there.
Yeah, that was my girlfriend. I'm getting ready to go to the switchboard at my laptop.
His laptop.
And hold on, guys.
Hold on.
What? No.
All right, no callers, but...
No callers. Wow, that was a surprise, huh?
Big shock.
Wow.
Again, that was Torture Killer with the first track.
All right, you know this thing here. This took 12 No, actually here. Yeah, 12 minutes to get down to the fact that that was Torture Killer. 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
The Megas to Devour album, and man, I'm too drunk to even think of the fucking name.
All right. Did you know he was drunk?
Wait a minute. This guy's been drinking? I would have never guessed.
Right. He's drunk, so, you know.
How did you know that?
Well, because he said it like 30, 40 times already.
I must have missed it each time. Maybe you'll say it one more time so I get it.
I will play another song by Torture Killer with Chris Barnes on vocals and probably the other guy. I'm too fucking even drunk to even find the fucking... This band's from Finland, and I don't mean to offend anybody from Finland, but... I mean, as far as I'm an American, and seeing their pronunciation and all that, it might offend them if I can't pronounce them. And
That's all right, dude. Nobody's listening to you anyway. Nobody's ever going to know.
That's my ignorance, and I'm willing to admit it. Whatever. I'm fucking drunk, but I'm going to play another song to stretch out the time. I have an hour and 43 minutes.
See? Here we go again with the stretching out the time. I still got
He's already stretching out the time. He's got an hour and 45 to go.
Yeah, I know. I got an hour and 43 minutes. I'm stretching out the time. I'm doing everything I can use up this time. Jesus.
By the way, did I happen to mention that I was drunk?
Again, why even bother doing a show? Why even bother?
Wouldn't you hang up?
Just go hang out with your chick.
If you were this guy, wouldn't you hang up?
Of course. It's a chore.
And those of you that are listening, I'm sorry if any of you called and I didn't answer you. I just got to the switchboard. But this is... Let me find a song to play. This is... I'm going to play Dying Fetus, Homicidal Retribution. And those of you that, of course, you've had to hear of Dying Fetus. But the only reason why I'm going to play this song is because I think this is one of the most underrated fucking death metal bands of all time. I've been trying to play a song by Dying Fetus on the previous episodes of Thrash Can, but...
He's been trying to play a song by Dying Fetus on
Just couldn't get it done.
He just couldn't do it.
No, could not get it done.
And which will be called Thrash Talk. And...
So you are right. It was Thrash Talk.
Thrash Talk instead of Thrash Can.
Right.
Wow, what an improvement.
I wanted to play them, and something came up in the middle of me playing them. And not only that, but there was Revolver. They had this list, and they work with Serious Heart Attack, which is Serious Satellite Radio. And they had them on there every now and then just playing the song. They didn't play them nearly as much as some bullshit band like Atreyu or whatever. But this is Dying Fetus off their album.
They don't play them as nearly as often as they play some bullshit called Atreyu.
But how does this story about Sirius relate to him not playing it on his show?
Well, I guess he was listening. Let me back that up and figure out his logic here.
And something came up in the middle of me playing them, and not only that, but there was Revolver. They had this list, and they work with Serious Heart Attack, which is Serious Satellite Radio, and they had them on there every now and then just playing the song. They didn't play them nearly as much as some bullshit band like Atreyu or whatever. But this is Dying Fetus off.
So he was playing them, and in the middle of playing them, something came up.
Oh. You got all that from that, huh?
So if something came up, so what did he do? Did he just stop playing it?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Their album, War of Attrition. This is the first track off there called Homicidal Retribution. Here we go. Everybody have fun, get drunk, listen to this fucking shitty-ass show, which I host. I'm a horrible DJ. But everybody crank this shit up. This is Dying Fetus.
I'm a horrible DJ. This is a shitty-ass show. I'm just trying to get the time over.
I got an hour and 42 now left to go. Son of a bitch.
Now, everybody get drunk, listen to this, and I'll be back.
Right.
Alright, guys, that was Dying Fetus with Homicidal Retribution, which is the first track off their album, War of Attrition.
Not only that, but I've moved back outside.
Yeah, I'm back outside, so I'm away from the phones again. So, but call in.
But I got a new cold beer cracked, so I'm getting even drunker.
Right.
And to talk about Dying Fetus for a second, I think they are the modern day Death, and I don't care what anybody says. Those of you that disagree, whatever, call into the show. Make this show worth a fuck.
Why don't you make this show worth a fuck?
Yeah, maybe being worth a fuck starts with you, pal.
And maybe you should be in front of your laptop and find out if somebody actually is calling instead of being outside on your patio drinking a beer.
Yeah, or take your laptop out on the patio.
Maybe he doesn't have wireless.
Come on.
I'm sitting on the back of my fucking back porch, just trying to have some fun, I want to talk to somebody about metal. Metal is something that is always...
So really, that's what this boils down to, is he doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, I'm a lonely piece of shit, and nobody will talk to me.
His chick won't talk to him about metal because she doesn't give a shit.
Right.
So he's just sort of a lonely guy who likes metal, he likes to drink, and he just wants to talk to somebody.
Anybody there, please talk to me.
I'm graded as far as society goes, and I love it. I fucking hate society, for one thing, and I hate fucking people, dude. I hate people. You have no idea how much I hate fucking people.
Well, I think he could be a member of the CMS.
Yeah. Maybe I could co-host with them at some point.
Yeah, because we pretty much hate people.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah, I hate old people and Buicks.
Yeah. I can see this show coming together now. I'm looking for... Maybe I could join Thrash Talk.
Right.
Thrash Talk with Chris and the drunk guy.
Right.
And this is the day after 9/11, and everybody died on 9/11, whatever. I don't give a fuck. There's a plane like...
Everybody died on 9/11?
Every last one of them.
I wonder how I escaped.
Well, lucky.
I guess. Thought everybody died.
Well, maybe you weren't alive on 9/11. You were born on the 12th.
Right. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
Well, I'm actually 15 miles, if that, from the fucking airport in St. Louis. St. Louis, I'm just drunk, man. Those of you that want to call in and harass, come in and call in, man. And again, I'm on my back porch, so those of you that are calling, I'm fucking just on my back porch chilling. I'm not even looking at the switchboard.
He's drunk. I'm not next to my computer. I couldn't tell if you're calling, but call in, goddammit.
Call in. I want to talk to you. I'm not by the phone where I can answer it, but call in.
I don't even know if you're calling at this second, but whatever. I'm just talking off the top of my head. And again, this is September 12th, 2008.
Did he just spit?
He just spit.
Did you realize this was September 12th?
I was wondering if this was the day after September 11th. I had that feeling.
Okay.
I like the spit, though.
I'm just sitting on my back porch, drinking some Milwaukee's Beast.
Beast?
Now, I'm going to talk about Milwaukee's Beast. And I'm just drunk. I've been drinking this shit since 5 this morning. It's now
Since
10.
the morning? I thought he said 5 p.m.
5 a.m.
He's been drinking since 5 a.m.?
He's got a good 14, 15 hours under his belt there.
Holy
Belt's
shit.
throwing him back.
Wow.
That's a man.
And 20, whatever the fuck. And I'm just out here drinking. And I'm going to tell you guys this thing with Anheuser-Busch. Those of you that don't know Anheuser-Busch, they make the fucking they're like the biggest fucking beer makers in the world. They make Busch, Budweiser, Natural Light, fucking Bud Light, all that bullshit. And I'm going to tell you right now, as a St. Louisan, which I live maybe 10 miles away from St. Louis. I work there, and this is the St. Louis metropolitan area, and that fucking beer, I'm going to tell you guys how I feel about it. Everybody has this fucking, like, territorial thing with their beer, but, you know, I'm sure it's the same thing in Milwaukee, where they're Miller products, but I love Miller. I've always loved Miller. I will put Miller above Anheuser-Busch 10 times over.
10 times
and
over.
That's what I'm drinking right now is a Miller product, Milwaukee's best, and I'm fucking broke. That's one of the cheapest beers in the world, the cheapest way to get drunk in the world, as far as I know.
As far as he knows.
Ice, and that's what I've been drinking since 5, and I'm just fucking drunk, man.
Nice.
I don't even know. I'm just talking off the top of my fucking ass.
He's talking off the top of his ass.
Anybody out there. And I'm not even looking at the switchboard. I'm just fucking out here in my backyard just drinking some
Really?
beer. But those of you that think like all St. Louis and I'm going to tell you, everybody around here fucking worships AB. Like it's the greatest fucking shit in the world, and I hate it. I'm going to tell you, I hate it. I hate it more than anything. I'm going to get inside just 5 O's out here, I think. And there's something out here, I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm back inside.
Okay.
And
Mom, I'm
here
coming
I am
back in.
hosting my stupid show. There's my son and my girlfriend that I'm passing by. I'm just gonna.
Did he say his son and his girlfriend?
I think so.
So he's got a bastard child. Is that the deal?
Well, you know, he's a good example. I will say that.
Yeah, he's a drunk son of a bitch, unemployed. Got a trailer trash girlfriend. Got a dirty little baby, you know, crawling around on the floor. I could just imagine. Oh boy. And he spends his nights doing blog talk radio.
Fucking guy probably has $20 to his name, and he blew it on his fucking Milwaukee's best.
Yeah, beast.
Another song, because I'm just ranting off the top of my head. This is a metal show, and that's what this show's about. I'm going to see if there's any callers at this moment.
Nope.
And there is none.
Wow.
Whatsoever.
What a surprise.
Yeah, you know how it goes. Those
Shit.
of you that want to, again, an hour and 30 minutes left this show. This show is me ranting on about metal and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I'm going to play another song by a band that I originally played on I think it was my first show. First or second, I know I played
one of
this
the
band
three
before. And the singer of the band is Tim Ripper Owens.
Uh-oh.
Ripper, of course, is the name of a Judas Priest song. The Ripper, named after the song.
Oh, wait a minute. Is he going to go into it like a 10 or 12-minute dissertation how Ripper got his name from the song The Ripper, and how Judas Priest has the song The Ripper, and how Ripper got into Priest, and he took the name from a Priest song, and...
Hey, don't steal his thunder.
Okay.
About Jack the Ripper, a serial killer around London, England. Killed a bunch of whores. But, again, a fucking classic Judas Priest song. And Tim Ripper Owens, he's the replacement singer of Judas Priest, the one after Rob Halford. And he not only sang for Judas Priest, he sang for Iced Earth and Winter's Bane. And I just read this, and I know very little about this, but he's singing for Yngwie Malmsteen. And whether I pronounce his name right or whatever, but he's one of those guitarists that anybody out there that are playing the guitar, put it down, man. You will never be as good as this guy. I'm sorry. But this guy is amazing. But I don't have any tracks by the guy because, for one,
It's not Cannibal Corpse and Chris Barnes.
That's Torture Killer.
And Yngwie Malmsteen wasn't in Cannibal Corpse or 6 Feet Under, so I don't have any of his music.
Right, he wasn't in Dying Fetus.
And Chris Barnes didn't sing with him.
Right.
So I don't have any Yngwie Malmsteen music.
No, none.
But if Chris Barnes was in Yngwie Malmsteen, then I would have had some of his music. So I don't. Yeah. And so I'm not going to play any. But I have some Tim Ripper Owens, which Ripper came from the Judas Priest song, and Tim took over. I don't know if you
know this, but Tim was in Miami once, and who did he meet there? Chris Barnes.
Nice.
I don't have any tracks by the guy, but the album that I'm talking about is scheduled to release later in October of this year. And, yeah, I don't know anything about... I'm sure I can find it. Hold on. The name of the album is... I'm sorry, let me find this. I don't know. It's the new Yngwie Malmsteen album. And, yeah, but anyway, that's irrelevant because the name of this band is called Beyond Fear, and I fucking love this band. And I played it on my previous episodes of the show, and I fucking love this band. I think they're fucking great.
But I'm
and
fucking
Tim
drunk
Owens,
right now.
If those of you that have heard me say about this guy before, this guy is amazing. And he's one of the greatest metal vocalists of all time, and that's a fact. I'm going to state that it's a fact.
Wow. Wow, if he stated it, it must be a fact.
Again, has this fucking thing with being a replacement singer. Everybody has this criticism against him. And it's bullshit, really, because the guy is a fucking great singer. And yes, he's not a Rob Halford. Yes, he's not a Matt Barlow. But he's a fucking great singer.
He's not a Matt Barlow.
Barlow, like a Merlot.
Yeah, he's not a Matt Barlow. And everybody has this criticism against him.
I don't know why they're picking on him, because he's not a Matt Barlow.
Right.
And the bands that he has sang for are fucking amazing. And this is off his band, this band right here, Beyond Fear. Those of you that never heard of this band, go check them out. Their self-titled album is out in stores right now, and they're fucking great. And I fucking love them. And they came out, the first CD came out in 2005.
The first one?
Yeah.
You know, the first one. You know, Tim took over for the original Beyond Fear singer, and, you know.
Sure.
The first CD came out in 2005.
Who was the first singer? Was that Matt Barlow?
But I got the whole Beyond Fear catalog, dude, so don't fuck with me, okay?
Dude, that first one came out, and I don't remember when. I'm too fucked up to look. Yeah. Did I tell you I was drunk?
I'm just going to go back out on my back porch.
Yeah. And I'm going to listen to some Beyond Fear here on my phone and just go sit on the porch.
And it's one of the best metal albums I've ever heard in my life. And I'm going to say that.
It's a fact.
And I don't care what anybody thinks, but I don't know. But I'm going to play the second song off their album, the self-titled album. This song is called And You Will Die. This is by Beyond Fear with Tim Ripper Owens of Judas Priest.
And he got the name from the song Ripper.
And I'm just going to play it before I ran on more and more with me being drunk and all that BS. Here you go, this is And You Will Die by Beyond Fear off there. Alright guys, that was, again, Beyond Fear off their self-titled album, Beyond Fear.
That was a hard ending.
A little bit.
Jeez. Boy, that blog talk radio, that trying to talk over those songs, that your voice, not that your voice isn't distorted over the phone as it is, but man, it gets really distorted.
And that was the track And You Will Die. And I love that fucking song. I love that band. I love that every musician in that band, especially Tim Ripper Owens, who is probably the most overlooked fucking singer in metal. And I'm going to state that as...
What about Chris Barnes?
Yeah.
I think Chris might be getting a little jealous if you keep mentioning Tim Ripper Owens.
Yeah, come on.
Stop it.
Because, yes, we get it. He replaced Rob Halford. He replaced Matt Barlow. Legendary singers of those fucking legendary fucking bands. And regardless, the man is fucking great. And those of you that think otherwise, call into the show and fucking harass me about the guy. I'm going to stand up for the guy because I think it's bullshit that a lot of the guy, anybody out there is just going to criticize this man for not being Rob Halford, not being Matt Barlow, but I don't know. This band...
They're going to criticize him for not being them?
Oh my God! Normally, I would have edited out all of the Matt Barlow stuff, but
holy shit, that's funny.
That's too fucking.
They're gonna criticize him for not being Matt Barlow, and not being Rob Halford. Chris or Tim, God damn it, you're not Matt Barlow.
Yeah, Tim, how come you're not Matt Barlow?
How come you're not Rob Halford?
Barlow.
That's too funny.
And of course is fucking great, and regardless of any of those fucking opinions
I love
you
the
have
CD.
about fucking
Tim
Judas
Ripper
Priest
Owens.
or Iced Earth,
Yeah.
this Beyond Fear is fucking great, and
Yeah.
you can't use that excuse with a fucking great band as Beyond Fear, and Beyond Fear should be up there with Iced Earth or Judas Priest. But moving on, I'm going to talk about band I was talking about earlier. Those of you that were wondering about the first band, Torture Killer.
Are we back to them again?
Let's bring it back around.
Yeah. Chris Barnes now. You know Chris Barnes, right? He was in...
Yeah, from Torture Killer?
Yeah, from Cannibal Corpse and 6 Feet Under. Now he was in this Torture Killers band.
The song is called Cannibal Gluttony. And... This one is featuring Chris Barnes of 6 Feet Under and or
what a surprise!
Cannibal Corpse.
Wow, really?
This is death metal. This is an underrated band, and of course, this band...
Wait a minute. Did they get their song from Did they get the name of their band from a 6 Feet Under tune?
Well, maybe, because, they started out as a 6 Feet Under tribute band, I've heard.
And I heard Chris Barnes actually joined up with those guys.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm I'm fucking drunk, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
So, yeah, whatever. And by the way, Anheuser-Busch products suck. And I'm from St. Louis.
Yeah, and I hate it. I'd rather live in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I'll bet you the people in Milwaukee like their sound better.
Yeah,
because their beer is better.
Yeah, they're cooler.
And it's cheap as fuck.
Is only even known because of their association with Chris Barnes, as far as my opinion goes. But this is Cannibal Gluttony off their album Swarm, the second album by the band. And here we go. This is Cannibal Torture Killer with singer Chris Barnes, who was, of course, the original pioneering vocalist.
Pat Sajak. What was that little guy's name?
I can't think of it.
Martin Short. Martin Short did that. Pat Sajak, my friend Pat Sajak. Yeah, Martin Short did that little guy.
This guy's the best.
But every time, it was always Pat Sajak.
Right.
This guy is Chris Barnes.
Of death metal, Cannibal Corpse. He was, in fact, the singer that was in the movie Ace Ventura.
And that was his favorite
no
band.
Callers, but I'm going to play another song by a fucking underrated band as far as the mainstream metal goes. This song, of course, is by Blind Guardian. Those of you that have never heard of the band, go check them out. They were a fucking... You'll never...
Chris Barnes produced Blind Guardian, and he actually sang backup vocals and helped write some of the songs.
You know, they used to have vision in Guardian, but then Chris Barnes gouged their eyes out when he was writing one of those songs when he was in Cannibal Corpse. It's called Gouge Out the Guardian's Eyes.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't know if you know this, but Chris Barnes, he was also in Torture Killer.
Yeah. And Chris Barnes also did the album cover for Blind Guardian.
Yeah. Did you know that? And then Chris Barnes, he was also in Cannibal Corpse.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
See this band on the cover of Revolver. You'll never see this band on the cover of Metal Hammer or whatever, any of those fucking any magazine out there. And this song is off their album, Night at the Opera. This song is called Soul Forged, and here we go, crank it up. Love this band like I do. Here we go. Alright, guys, that was, of course, Blind Guardian, Soul Forged by Blind Guardian, and I fucking love that band.
You do?
And that's one of those bands that pulled me from this new metal trend. And, again, I'm 21 years old. Again, I'm drinking.
Look at me, I guessed it.
Yep, you were right on it.
I was right on it. I said he was between 18 and 22 is what I said, and probably not married.
Yep.
And I guessed it dead on.
And whatever you want to harass me for, Blind Guardian is a fucking great band. Completely.
Did he just pop the top on another beer?
He did.
Nice.
Because he's been drinking since 5 o'clock this morning.
Metal media, but just anywhere. Whatever kind of fucking media. And again, there are no callers, and I expect that, I guess, because I'm a huge fucking loser with a small dick, and I do this show to entertain myself, but...
Oh, my God.
Yes, again, I'm drinking, and like I always do, and I want some people to fucking call in and harass me.
Yeah, man.
Reason.
Come on, please.
For saying I'm a loser, saying whatever, that I'm a poser, whatever. But anyway, regardless, those of you that haven't heard of Blind Guardian, I'm sure of you have heard of Iced Earth. And there has been a supergroup of the singer of Iced Earth, Hansi, whatever the fuck. Blind Guardian is from Germany. This guy's German.
Heinze, whatever the fuck.
It's Hansi Kurtz.
Kurtz.
It's not like a really hard one.
That sounds like a German name. Heinze, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, Heinze, whatever the fuck.
Did a duel with John Schaffer of Iced Earth.
John Schaffer. John Schaffer.
John Schaffer and Matt Barlow. That, of course, makes the band Iced Earth.
Right.
Schaefer, whatever. Those of you who have ever heard the show Thrash Can 2, whatever I named it, it's either Schaefer or Schaffer.
Yeah.
Adam K. of GaspEtcetera.com. Go check that website out. It's a fucking great metal magazine. Any of you out there that love metal, true metal, whatever, just fucking go to that website. It's free. It's fucking great. But anyway.
It's fucking great.
Dude, there's no one out there. That's why you have no calls.
Guardian, singer, Hansi, whatever the fuck his last name is. Sorry, I can't pronounce this dude's last name. But he did a song, side project with John Schaffer of Iced Earth, and called Demons and Wizards. I'm fucking drunk, guys.
Really?
Those of you that want to call in, harass me again, come on, harass me. Fuck, dude, I fucking just spilled beer all over this fucking everything. Holy shit. Man, I fucking knocked the beer everywhere. Anyway, this song is by Demons and Wizards. This song is called Dorian. Fucking crank this shit up. It's fucking great. This is off the album Touched by the Crimson King. This is the second album by Demons and Wizards, a supergroup between singer of Blind Guardian and the main fucking mastermind behind Iced Earth. One of those bands that are literally kept metal alive.
Really?
The song is called Dorian. Crank this shit up. Alright, motherfuckers, that was Again, Demons and Wizards.
Wow, he got a little spunk in his voice now.
Take it easy. It'll slow back down.
With Dorian, the 8th track off their album, Touched by the Crimson King. And I fucking love that track. That's the second album by that band, the sophomore effort. Again, there are no fucking callers. Whatever you guys' problem is, call in, call me a fucking pussy, a post.
What is your problem? Why aren't you calling? Why?
I can't believe you're not calling in on this Radio Gold.
I'm stuck with my girlfriend and the baby, and there's nobody to talk to about metal, and I'm lonely, and I'm drunk, and I got a small penis, and, why aren't you people calling?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Or a fucking fag, whatever you want to call me. Or just call in to fucking state your mind on metal or whatever you got going on. I have an hour remaining of this show.
Oh.
And nobody is
We're
calling
halfway
in,
home.
as far as I know, and
I gotta drag this out for another hour.
somebody please call into this show.
Please
Anyway,
call me.
with no further ado, I'm just going to play a song that I've heard off of Judas Priest, which, in my opinion, is the fucking archetype of heavy metal. And I have
What did he say they were?
The archetype of heavy metal.
Archetype?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not architects.
Yeah.
Archetype.
Okay.
the remaining of the show. And this song, of course, is the fucking legendary track Electric Eye, which Judas Priest fucking opens up with in every show.
Really? Every
as far
show?
As I know.
And open up
Since
with it when we saw him in the summer.
As far as I'm concerned. And Electric Eye, the Helion Electric Eye.
Helion.
The Helion?
The Helion.
How about the Hellion?
This is the Helion.
The Helion.
And this is a cover of the Helion by John Schaffer and Matt Barlow.
Right.
Fucking first two tracks off of Screaming for Vengeance, one of the fucking metal classics of this world. This band,
What other
Gary
world?
German guy. I heard of them on a fucking Judas Priest tribute album called Hellbent for Metal. Check it out. Shit. Man, I just dropped the fucking phone.
God damn it.
But, again, Hellbent for Metal. Check them out. I think this is only a cover band, because I've checked out other fucking songs that they've done on Zune Marketing, and because I looked up on Zune Marketing. Those of you that are listening, of course you guys have heard of iTunes, the fucking new standard for music, and I fucking hate iTunes. I hate them. I hate iTunes and all that MP3 bullshit. But I looked on Zune Marketing, and that's what I use, not to download tracks. I still buy my CDs because I fucking hate MP3s. I despise MP3s.
Wow.
There's nothing concrete with an MP3. It's whether you download your tracks off illegally or whatever the fuck, it's still bullshit. Buy your fucking CDs. Believe it or not, the fucking liner notes, the fucking album art, the back album art mean more to music, if not metal or whatever, than more than you can imagine.
So he's opposite of you.
It means more to the music than you can imagine.
Yeah.
The liner notes.
Yeah. The artwork and the liner notes, it means more than you can imagine. Hail and Kill, caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Hail and Kill. Wow, this fucker makes me sound like just a big old ray of sunshine.
He's great.
All right, Hail and Kill.
Jeez. All right, we only got a couple more minutes of this.
All right.
And the fact that iTunes and Zune Marketing, Amazon, MP3, whatever the fuck, is taking over whatever. But I'm getting too off the fucking subject. Scary German Guy is the name of the band that I'm going to be playing. They're covering Judas Priest's Electric Eye, and which is the fucking one of the fucking essential metal songs ever, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm playing this band because, for one, I'm fucking
drunk.
I love metal. I love Judas Priest. And I bought this tribute album called Hellbent for Metal. Sorry, guys, I'm
drunk. Okay.
And
got
Hellbent
that straight.
for Metal, of course, is a play on words to their fucking self-titled Hellbent for Metal.
No leather.
Released in the late 70s by
Leather.
Judas Priest.
Hellbent for leather.
Hold on a minute.
Title track. Whatever.
Is it self-titled or is it called Hellbent for Leather?
It's self-titled, damn it.
Self-titled.
Self-titled, Hellbent for leather.
Metal.
Yeah.
Hellbent for metal.
Right.
Fuck. Man, I'm drunk as fuck.
Drunk as fuck.
This band is a cover band, and I don't think they've ever even recorded original songs, but I'm sure any cover, they did a fucking tribute album to
Judas
I
Priest.
think it was Testament, Ministry, etc. But without further ado, before I bore any motherfucker, this is Electric Eye off the album, of course, Screams for Vengeance by Judas Priest. This is covered by Scary German Guy. This band I know very little about because there's no Wikipedia article about them. There's no anything article about them. But check them out. These guys, I guess they do it pretty good. I mean, I haven't heard any original songs.
All right, play the song.
But you will find them on nearly any fucking archetype metal band tribute album.
Okay.
As far as I know, like Testament, Ministry, etc., Judas Priest, whatever.
All the archetypes, I'm with you.
This is Electric Eye.
Okay, and it's
by Scary German Guy.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And this
Crank
is
it
a
up,
cover,
guys.
by the way.
Alright, guys. That was, of course, Scary
German guys.
Like I said,
They did a cover.
As fuck. There is 51 minutes remaining of this bullshit fucking show.
51
and
minutes.
I'm drunk as fuck. Those of you that want to call in to talk metal, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, you
harass
fags,
me.
call.
Fucking call me whatever the fuck you want to say.
Tell me I'm a
This
fag.
show
Tell me I'm a poser.
is
But I'm drunk.
What you want to fucking say, I guess. I'm fucking drunk.
Really?
I'm playing songs that I don't know. I'm trying to be this fucking
What?
trying to prove to everyone out there that I'm this fucking
Drunk?
I live metal, guys. I literally, that's the only thing that I even care about is metal, and no Limp Bizkit metal, no fucking whatever the fuck. But I'm just gonna, I don't know, there's literally nothing I can even fucking talk about anymore.
Okay.
I said what I
There's
wanted
still
to
50
say. I'm
minutes
just
left
gonna
of the
play
show.
songs until whenever. I got 50 minutes remaining of this
I called that right on.
retarded show that I host.
Yeah?
And I want everybody out there that's listening to call in.
Uh-huh.
Call in. Call me a fucking retard. Call me whatever you
Call me a
fucking
fag.
wanna call
me a drunk.
I don't care who you are.
Call me a drunk cocksucker. Call
I
me
don't
something.
care if you
Just
hate
call.
metal. I don't care if you love metal. Whatever. But anyway, I think the next song I'm going to play, this song is by, it's not, of course you've heard of this band.
Who?
Anthrax.
Torture Killer?
Off their album Among the Living, which came out the year I was even born, 1987.
Was
The
Chris
song is
Barnes
called
part of this?
Skeletons in the Closet. With no further ado, I'm just going to play it. Here we go, guys. Thrash out. What's up, guys? That was, of course, Anthrax with the song Skeletons in the Closet off the album Among the Living, one of the essential thrash metal albums ever created. And, man, I'm fucking drunk.
Really?
I'm about ready to pass out. I've been drinking since
5 a.m.?
whenever today on September 12th, 08. And like
Mark's
I said,
is drinking with a calendar.
The fucking terrorist attack that killed everybody. I don't know. Dude, I'm not even going to talk about politics. This program on Blog Talk Radio is about stating your mind, but I'm not
It is?
talking about politics. I'm talking about metal, and I'm going to talk about the next song I'm just going to play.
Right?
This song is called Strangulation by the Torture Killer Band. That
Is Chris Barnes involved with this?
Same singer, same album.
Really?
And I'm going to play it for you guys.
Excellent.
Those of you that never heard of Torture Killer, go check them out. The song is called Strangulation. Here we go, self-titled album, Beyond Fear. And I'm going to play another song off by the band Torture Killer. Here we go, this is Torture Killer. Let's rock out. I'm about ready to pass out.
You monster. You like to torture.
Never mind, guys.
I like to torture.
Hold on, guys.
All right.
This song is Never mind. This song. Here we go. This song's by Halloween. Man, I'm gonna pass out and I'm too fucking drunk. Here we go.
Oh, God. That's it. He passed out. I drank and drank until I passed out on my radio show.
That dude rules.
Oh, my God.
So what do you think? You like this Thrash Can better than the other Thrash Can?
Well, they both have their highlights, but that's Dan the Destroyer on Thrash Talk or Thrash Can.
Yeah, formerly Thrash Can, now it's Thrash Talk.
Oh, okay. Yet no one would call him and talk about metal.
God damn it.
Or call him a fag or something. Call him a poser. You guys suck.